There's a certain kind of woman a man never forgets. Not because she's the most beautiful, not because she plays games, but because she does three specific things. Three things that imprint her on his mind long after the relationship ends, or even if it never truly began. If you're an older woman wondering how to stand out, how to be the one he remembers, you're in the right place. Let's break down the psychology, the case studies, and the exact steps to become that unforgettable woman. Why do men forget some women so easily? Let's start with a harsh truth. A lot of women, especially older women, blend in when it comes to modern dating. Not because they're not amazing, but because they don't know what makes a lasting impression anymore. Here's what happens. They focus on being nice, hoping that kindness will keep his attention. They stay low maintenance to avoid bothering him. They ignore their own needs, thinking that sacrifice equals love. And still, he drifts because being easygoing, agreeable, or drama-free doesn't always leave a mark on a man's emotional memory. And it's even tougher for older women in today's dating world. Why? Because dating apps and fast-paced digital culture have created emotional amnesia. Men are swiping past hundreds of women weekly, and unless something sticks, they forget. A 2021 study by the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that in casual dating environments, men are 45% more likely to forget emotional details of short-term relationships within 6 months, unless something emotionally meaningful or psychologically unique occurred. So the question is, how do you become emotionally meaningful? How do you create a bond that outlasts the moment, even if the relationship doesn't? Why does this matter more for older women? Let's face it, there's a narrative in the dating world that favors youth. Older women are often told, "You have to settle. Men your age want younger women. Don't expect too much." That's nonsense. But it's a narrative that leads many women to shrink themselves, to avoid being bold, to tone things down, to stop doing the very things that used to make them magnetic. And here's the twist. The things that actually make a woman unforgettable have nothing to do with age. They have everything to do with how you make a man feel about himself when he's around you. Dr. Helen Fisher, biological anthropologist and researcher at the Kinsey Institute, found that what keeps someone emotionally tied in memory is dopamine-linked emotional spikes, moments of joy, challenge, reflection, or intensity. It's not the soft, quiet presence that sticks. It's the woman who sparks something inside him again and again. So, let's dive into the 3 things an older woman can do to stay in his mind forever. Not just to be remembered, but to leave a permanent impression on his emotional core. Number 1, she mirrors his ambition, not his lifestyle. A woman who reflects his ambition, not necessarily his exact lifestyle, is unforgettable. Why? Because men are deeply wired to connect with purpose. When a man sees that a woman has a mission, a goal, or even just a passion that fuels her, it sparks admiration. Not because she's like him, but because she understands the drive behind him. A 2019 study from the Harvard Business Review explored attraction and career success in couples. The study showed that men rated women who spoke with clarity and excitement about their goals as 32% more attractive long-term, even when physical appearance wasn't a match. It's not about trying to fit into his world. It's about showing him you've built your own. It triggers a deep psychological association. She gets me. She's not dependent on me, but she respects the hustle. I can grow with her. Remember Michelle Obama's early relationship with Barack? She didn't just support his goals. She had her own law career. Her ambition didn't threaten him. It made her memorable and magnetic. Even years later, he credits her for shaping his own success. Don't hide your wins. Share your plans. Talk about what drives you, even if it's baking, writing, fitness, volunteering. If you care, he will too. Number 2. She disarms him with vulnerable truth without apology. Most people wear masks, especially in dating. But an older woman who speaks her truth without drama or shame is rare and unforgettable. When a man sees that a woman can own her flaws, share her pain, or express her joy without trying to manipulate, he locks in emotionally. It becomes a memory marker. Example, instead of saying, "I'm fine, it's not a big deal," she says, "Honestly, that hurt me more than I expected. I didn't think I'd feel that way." Instead of pretending to be okay with casual dating, she says, "I like real connection. If this is just fun for you, I respect it, but I'm not your girl." Psychologist Brené Brown's research on vulnerability found that people who expressed emotional truth in calm, clear ways were rated as more trustworthy and more attractive by partners in long-term relationship studies. Men remember the woman who makes them feel safe to drop their own guard. It's not about oversharing or emotional dumping. It's about realness. A man remembers a woman who makes him feel seen, not judged. Practice expressing your feelings in one sentence. I feel emotion when situation, because reason. Example, I feel a little insecure when you go silent because I'm still getting to know how you communicate. Simple, clear, memorable. Number 3, she evokes growth by making him reflect on himself. The final unforgettable trait is she challenges him, not by criticizing, but by helping him reflect. She asks powerful questions. She notices patterns. She sees things in him that he hasn't fully owned yet. Example conversations. You light up when you talk about that. Why aren't you doing more of it? You say you're not a relationship guy, but you seem happiest when you're around people who care. What's that about? You always joke when things get real. Have you noticed that? This isn't therapy, it's emotional coaching, and most men rarely experience it. A 2020 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that men remembered deep, growth-focused conversations with a partner longer than any physical experience. These conversations were ranked as pivotal moments that influence self-perception. That's powerful. It means a woman who makes him think about himself differently stays locked in his emotional memory. Jay Shetty, former monk and now relationship coach, often shares how his wife Ruddy asked him uncomfortable, deep questions when they first dated. That's what made him fall for her. Not her looks, not her cooking, her insight into who he was becoming. Instead of trying to impress, try to explore, ask better questions. What's something people misunderstand about you? If you weren't worried about failing, what would you be doing right now? You don't need to fix him. You just need to see him and help him see himself. That kind of woman is unforgettable. Let's recap. There are a million beautiful, smart, kind women out there. But the ones who stay in a man's mind forever, they do 3 things. Mirror his ambition, not his lifestyle. You show you're on a mission too. Disarm him with vulnerable truth. You're real, not reactive. Evoke growth and reflection. You help him see himself more clearly. And guess what? None of this has anything to do with youth, beauty, or trying to act 25 again. This is about emotional intelligence, confidence, and being brave enough to show up fully as you are. Because in the end, the most unforgettable woman is the one who makes a man feel deeply about himself, about life, and about love. So, if you're an older woman watching this, you already have everything you need to leave that lasting mark. Just remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being powerfully real, and that stays with him forever. If this hit home for you, hit the like button and drop a comment below. Which of these 3 things do you already do, and which one are you going to try next? And don't forget to subscribe for more real talk about love, relationships, and becoming unforgettable at any age.